Michael Jackson had sold millions of albums and won countless awards. Beset by an out-of-control spending habit and damaging accusations, in 2002, he was $250 million in debt. 3 years later, he was hit with yet another allegation of child molestation.
So the charges were that in 2003, Michael plied a 13-year-old child with alcohol and groped him.
When the trial comes, Michael is a shell of his former self.
I've never seen him look so down and out and just distraught. He had lost at least 20 pounds from the time I had seen him before. It was really awful.
One day he's wheeled into the courtroom in his pajamas. He looks all slumped over. He's in his robe. You think Michael's going to die in court that day.
The trial was the last thing Michael's reputation, health, or finances needed.
The 2005 trial was his kryptonite. He was never the same again after that trial. Having to go to court every day and have his private life displayed in front of not only the public, but his mother was sitting right there behind him. That devastated him, and he never recovered.
Michael said that he didn't do anything. This is someone else just trying to extort him for money. When I saw him during this trial, I said, Michael Jackson has completely lost what I thought, the will to live. The magic of Michael was gone.
In the case of the People versus Michael Jackson, the accused is found not guilty.
Michael Jackson was acquitted of all the charges again. This was a huge victory for him. He was so happy that this had happened because he had maintained his innocence the entire time.
But Michael hadn't won in the court of public opinion.
A lot of the public had completely turned against Michael Jackson. This was the final straw. This was a second child molestation allegation, the plastic surgery, the kids being so weird, making them wear masks all the time. Michael had nothing connected to reality anymore, and a lot of people were just done with him.
Legally, he was free, but it took a tremendous toll on not only the money he had, but his ability to make more money.
The trial also shed new light on the disastrous state of Michael's finances.
An accountant testified that Michael was spending $20 to $30 million more than he was earning a year, which is kind of a problem. Michael Jackson has all these lawyers. He's paying millions of legal fees. He has, properties in default, and it is not doing well for his finances.
So by 2008, things had gotten so bad that Michael can't even keep up with the mortgage payments on Neverland Ranch.
So he had to make a deal, and so he found some investors who bought it from him. He was still able to live there, but they owned it.
So this must be absolutely horrific for Michael. Neverland was his sanctuary. It was his bubble. It was his private universe where he didn't have to be bothered by anyone. So this is a crushing blow to him.
Broke, Michael even contemplated selling memorabilia before canceling the auction at the last moment, unable to part with his possessions.
It was completely shocking to find out that Michael Jackson was broke and it was tens of millions of dollars in debt. He had so many financial issues. He made millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. How on earth did he spend that all?
With financial ruin approaching fast, Michael knew there was only one way out. In 2009, Michael announced a massive tour.
There are going to be 50 dates out of London's O2 Arena. This was a huge comeback for Michael Jackson. He hadn't toured since 1997. 12 years later, he was finally going to tour again. It was going to be the biggest extravaganza ever, and everyone was going to get to see him perform at his peak performance level again.
The response was exactly what Michael needed.
He sold out, 50 shows in like 45 minutes? And it brought in $85 million in 45 minutes? Hello?
There was only one problem. Michael was in no shape for the rigors of performing one show, let alone 50.
When I saw Michael at that press conference in 2009, it was heartbreaking. He just didn't look like the same person that I knew back in the 90s. He was completely different. You could tell that he wasn't happy, that he was depressed. I could see all of that, and it broke my heart.
I was with LaToya, and we both kind of looked at each other saying that Michael cannot get through these dates on a tour. He's not physically capable of doing that. We all felt that he was pushed and pushed and pushed by promoters to do these concerts because they were going to make so much money. And this is a business of Michael Jackson.
It seems so sad and desperate. This guy who would make hundreds of millions of dollars in his career was forced to go back out on tour just to make money to live, and he wasn't prepared for it.
Sure enough, preparations for the shows did not go smoothly.
Michael stopped showing up to rehearsals and he rehearses privately. And allegedly it was because he needed drugs in order for him to even stand up to perform. And he didn't want people to see that.
The top promoter goes to Michael's house and tells him that if he didn't perform, if he didn't show up at rehearsals, they were going to pull the plug. Michael was a ghost of Michael. He was suffering chills. They thought he had the flu or something like that. Michael's covered up with a blanket. This is the summertime in Los Angeles, and he's having chills. He knew that his high expenses, his shopping habits, the people who financially depended on him were forcing him into a comeback tour. But he couldn't deliver that tour because he physically and mentally wasn't up to it.
In secret, Michael resorted to extreme measures to deal with the incredible stress.
What was happening with Michael was that every night, in order to go to sleep, he would lay down on this bed and Dr. Conrad Murray would put a tube in his leg, find a vein, and infuse him with propofol.
Which is, you know, an anesthesia. They use it in hospitals to put people to sleep, which is wildly shocking. So every night he's going through this process where he's being put in basically a coma in order to go to bed.
But Michael would think he's refreshed and then go about his day. The insidious effects of propofol are that it will make you think you're getting sleep, but it never gets to that REM level, the rapid eye movement level. And it's at that moment when you're sleeping that your brain is refreshing. But when you're put under with propofol, you're not getting that. And if you're not getting that, you get tired again. Michael was getting that every night for 60 nights.
Something had to give, and when it did, the world would be stunned.
It was just the worst moment of my life. I was devastated.